McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway. Call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our strength.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The
Friday afternoon to you, everyone. We've gotten through the end of another week of the Real Issues. The first week, we might say, full week in the month of June 2024. Today is actually the 7th day, yes, so it's a week, we can say. First one into the month of June, and I think we got through it well. Thank you very much for making that possible. Our program is weekdays, Monday to Friday, holidays accepted, none on weekends, from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on Real FM radio, coming to you on the frequencies of 91.3 for those of you in the north and 91.5 south. We also simulcast on our sister TV station, NBC Television, channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live as well. And we also stream live on YouTube. Now, before I say anything further, let me apologize to those of you who have been reporting having difficulty with the television reception, and you were very careful and particular to say that it's the TV that gives you problems, that you are hearing us okay on the radio, those of you who are listening, and on Facebook Live. In fact, someone said it was especially good on YouTube, but it was the TV that was having some breakup and some other issues and so on. Let me just explain to you that Real Issues is an NBC program, all right? So all the platforms of NBC are available to it, and we do use them. But the program is hosted in the radio studio, unlike Zafenu, which is hosted in the TV studio. And can I help you? They are done in the TV studio, and then they are fed to the radio. Real Issues is hosted in the radio studio, and it is fed to the TV studio. So that if you see, like, was it yesterday? We started a bit late because we had a little extra time for DJ Coalition and Nigel and their guest, one of the musical artists and so on. And so they asked for some extra time, and the TV people immediately, or some other day, we had something we were trying to resolve. I told you we had a little mishap in the studio, and we're trying to get it sorted out, a little water spill and so on. And then immediately noticed that we were just looping the ads and taking a longer time than usual, and they would call up and say, hey, what's going on, guys? It's been so much time since, we've been waiting for you to come back and you haven't. So they know we are connected. But I just wanted to let you know that issues, if they are television issues, me as the host of the program sitting in the radio studio, I would not know. So when you do report it, I will mention it as a way of alerting my television colleagues so that they can look into it. If it's not resolved, it means that it's a problem that cannot be resolved right there and then. Television is a bit of a more complicated, I might say, animal than radio is. Okay, there's a lot more technology involved and so on, because we're talking about image transmission, videography, and all those things involved. So nevertheless, it's our baby. We're all in this together. So I want to apologize to you and hope that today will be better. I'm sure they're looking at it. It seems to affect other programs as well. Some people have been relentlessly sending me messages suggesting that it's real issues that's being targeted. They say it's only NBC this is happening. Some say it's only real issues. Some say it also happens on Zafeno. I think there was a little moment last night on Can I Help You? That, Honorable Richard Frederick indicated that, there was a breakup. I think it was on the Facebook Live. So these things happen all over. I am still resistant to the idea that real issues is being targeted, or that NBC per se, somebody is doing some mischief. I'm resistant to it. I'm not saying I can say categorical it's not true, but I tend to be one who does not like to go down the road of conspiracy and complot and plot, and people are out to get you and out to get me. Yes, but as an extreme, when everything else fails to check out, that's when I'll go that way. It's like, I can tell you, there's a lot in the modern Christian, Christian scene and contemporary Christianity that even as a professing Christian, I don't like. It's like demons seem to be the talk of everything. Everything, it's a demon. Everything, demons are doing this. Yes, there are demons and there's devil, I believe in it. But there's also human imperfection. There's human failing. There's human fault. There is science associated with it. Not every little case you have of something of hair loss, that it's a demon or imaginary that came in the night and pour pour faire vieux VCP. There might be little deficiencies, and vitamin thing and some vitamin B, and before you know it, in 2 tools the whole thing, is cured and so on. Everything for some preachers and pastors and people is a demon, and an evil spirit and so on. Yes, they exist, but man, come on, you're going to be looking for demons before you have exhausted everything else to look for what a problem might be. Is it something you're eating that, doesn't agree with you, that you have some kind of food sensitivity or allergy or whatever? It's an evil spirit and somebody put a spell on you, and this and that and the other. It's the same way, I'm very reluctant to be at NBC and to say, it's my program that they're targeting because I'm criticizing this person. It may be, but I don't like to go down that road as a first response or resort or conclusion. Look for other things that may. Some time ago, we had a problem that were on the radio, but things, the TV was not. And what did we find out, Jaquan? They found out that it was a cable that we needed, because what we were doing was that the program was being transmitted from the radio studio to the TV studio via Wi-Fi, which is a little bit iffy and dicey and wobbly sometimes. The Wi-Fi signal for the thick walls of a concrete building that has all its soundproofing, material and all that in it. And then they decided, look, we need a hardwire cable, so that what is in the radio, we can send it to the TV without all the, the little wobbles and the vagaries of radio, because it's a radio signal, really, all this Wi-Fi is and so on, of radio telephony and signaling and so on, that might be subject to interference and that sort of thing. So, we got a cable, and I think for a long time, we never had a problem, right? So if now, there's a little problem with the TV, maybe it's something else that needs to be examined and looked at, and I assure you it will be dealt with. We take what we do, kind of seriously. Not kind of, we take it absolutely seriously here, and, we don't mess about with it. So, that being said, once again, I'm sorry. And I want to make up for it today, because it may have affected some people. It may have affected when we got, our calls and all of that, who was able to come through. We may have had difficulties, plus it's a weekend, so I want to open the phone lines pretty early, And when I say early, I mean like now. I know it's unlike me, but dispense with preamble and all of that. although I've already had one already, and tell you that you can call to speak about anything that you consider to be an important issue, a significant issue, a relevant issue, a real issue. That the phone line is right now open to you to call so as to make up for whatever you may have lost because of the little technical issues that you identified. And some of them were not things that we could basically confirm on our end. It may be a problem on your end, because if you're listening via Facebook and so on, my friend, you could have some problem in the internet strength. And I think one of the internet service providers did put out a message saying they had some problems in some areas. A landslide affected their cables and their fiber optics and different things, and they were working to put it back up. So it could be, those kinds of things that might be affecting you. All right, let's see. All right, okay. All right, something I saw a message. I thought it was relevant to what I was saying. And now, here's a regular person who tells us about. He says the problem is worse today in Vieux-Fort. Now, if it is a television, my friend, we broadcast on a cable channel, but we don't own the cable channel. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The problem may not be an NBC problem. It may be with the cable service provider. It may be something with the signal. We don't control the cable TV network. You understand? If there is a problem in getting whatever communication or signal that we have to send to the cable service provider, and they now, diffuse and disseminate, broadcast is a simple word that covers that. It's not really something that's immediately under our control, So maybe the service provider is one we can make an inquiry of. But NBC, yes, we produce the program, we generate it, whatever. But when it comes to broadcasting it, the signal and the infrastructure and all of that, they belong to the cable service provider. It may not necessarily be NBC that is messing up. Yes, you may see other TV stations that don't have the problem, but likewise, sometimes they have problems at times that we don't. They go off air, you get blank screen, you get no audio from them, and we don't have those problems. So, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a particularly NBC thing or originating with us. The telephone line is 724-7325 and 4533-911. On the mobile number, you can WhatsApp call us on that, and on the studio direct landline number, of course, you can reach us via that as well. So let me say good afternoon to everyone, both within the shores of St. Lucia, in the domestic space, and overseas in our diaspora. Thank you so much for being here, and we have a first caller. Hi, good afternoon, Real Issues. Hello. Hello.
Are you ready?
Yes, hearing you now.
Okay. Shelton?
Yes.
Last night, I moved away from Can I Help You to that interview with Felipe Martinez. And from what I heard, it's like almost a completely different story to what Alan Shasney has been saying.
I know who you are, and I have a copy of the complaint that Martinez has filed with that Florida court in the US. And I think I can forward that to you so you can read the whole complaint in it.
Oh, that would be nice. So I can make an assessment of it.
Yeah. I think I'll do that. In fact, the person who sent it to me, I don't think it can be a secret, at least not at this. But I suspect I may even put it up in the Real Issues, chat group so people can see.
Because from what I get to understand, and I am of that's my view, my personal view. When the House of Assembly last met, and Mr. Shasney was absent, I think that's the time he took opportunity to meet with Martinez. You understand? Because the Prime Minister to know Martinez, so he ran along. Thinking, he got the big guns now. He got the juice on the Prime Minister and his government and Ernest there, and everything like that. And then to turn around and then pass the buck and try and blame his former CEO of the CIP.
Yeah.
So you knew Galaxy was doing all that shit. You did nothing about it, right? And then Felipe Martinez come with his journalist idea of a lawsuit. Apparently, he hasn't filed a lawsuit. He filed an application to have a lawsuit. So he filed a lawsuit yet.
Yeah.
I still think, I don't know, but whether he filed it or not. But the thing is, Alan Shasney knew that this man don't have a case really, when you look at it. And from what I heard last night, I'll say, but that's something between two two parties. That's what it is with governments. That's what it is with government. So why is he behaving the kind of way? Why is it downtrodden on trying to, I mean, what a life of me. I just don't understand this man.
And Martinez's own reputation, his own history, his own record works against him. You come in to talk about people who did what and they hurt your business and so on. Martinez has been jailed twice in America and in France.
And the man declares a law-abiding citizen.
When all these things will come out, that Martinez is himself not an honest man according to his record, his history, his reputation, whatever.
So his utterances, you can see he's been very calculating in his answers and being
we're having some feedback
and
somewhere.
Also deceitful, because there are times he failed questions by the host. Like he tried to call and his excuse was, well, it's in the court, I can't talk about it.
Yeah, conveniently. Yeah, at some point when they put some questions to him.
Yeah,
he doesn't want.
Question has nothing to do.
Yeah, he came at one point, and I think he even told Lisa Joseph he should not have said something. He said he did it. He got carried away by her questioning. But this is really not something. I say, well, maybe he should have just shut up right from the start and just say, look, I have filed a legal complaint, so I want to let this matter stay in the courts.
Yeah. So I speak to Mr. Shelton, I will read thoroughly.
Yeah.
And that proper assessment of it.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah. I keep asking myself, why does Martinez think that he has, the authority or whatever to dictate to a sovereign state how they must handle, so that if they say they're going to sell something for $200,000 and they decide to discount it to $150,000, how does that become something that is actionable in any court, much less in a foreign court, Isn't that the sovereign decision of a country? And let them face the music at home by who wants to bring legal challenges, but you're not even bringing it in the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, starting with the High Court. You're taking it to an American court, Anyway, we have a call on the line. Hello.
Hi, Shelton. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Shelton, would you agree with me that Alan Chaslin is all behind that whole saga?
Well, I don't want to go out straight and say so, but I am seeing signs of his fingerprints and paw prints and, footprints all over it, to be honest with you. And the way he has picked it up, and it's like, we got something. We got something on them. This lawsuit is the death knell of the Labour Party and the government, you cannot be so triumphant and rejoicing and exuberant over that, and for you to be in any way surprised that people would have a suspicion that you have a hand in it. So I'm not far from you, but I wouldn't go out and say outright that yes, he's behind
one
it.
Thing, but you are really being generous to Alan Chaslin,
I'm generous to everybody.
but the reason why I asked that, you remember some time ago in the House, the man said, prepare yourselves, lawsuits are coming.
Yeah, he's been saying that, of course. He's been saying it in reference to Theo Aking, and he's been saying it vaguely and so on. So it's like the government of St. Lucia is going to get it. They're going to get it up there, whatever, with lawsuits and so on. Like Chasna is just happy that somebody is going to come at the government and it will cost them millions and so on. How can a man be a St. Lucian and a former prime minister? And for him to have this kind of gleefulness about him, about legal action being taken against the state that can be costly to our coffers and so on.
Well, honestly, I think more lawsuits will come, because the mere fact that he made the disclosure, I expect, sometimes maybe you might hear more lawsuits coming from Ojo Labs, what's his name, the guy who for the sports, the sports, Don Lockerbie, these people represent their case yet, But he has already said that more lawsuits will come, so let's look out for it, But I suspect all these things is to distract the government, from what they are doing, So let's look out for it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. You're welcome. But on the strength of everything that has come out, including information coming out of St. Kitts and the responses of so many of the people that Martinez is accusing, former Prime Minister Timothy Harris, quite a few of them have come out and have responded to what he's saying. It would not surprise me if we are starting to see the beginning of the end of that whole thing of Martinez, that his whole cookie is going to crumble, and with him, those who are behind him on that. We have another call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues. Hello? Yeah.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Yeah, hearing you now. Go ahead.
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
Shelton, you see, all what I'm hearing about Shasney. Shasney is a man, I don't want to mention his name in this country anymore. My only concern at this time, my government is doing brilliant. My only concern is about the special prosecutor. Shelton, what you have heard and what you have to say about that special prosecutor, we're not hearing anything at all. What's happening? Tell us something.
The fact that you're not hearing the special prosecutor does not mean that the special prosecutor is not working. You see, things that have to do with courts, that have to do with law, that have to do with trials, that have to do with laying of charges, you have to handle those things very carefully, and sometimes that means handling them very quietly. Because you go talking about things that are supposed to be determined in court, you can run into a lot of legal troubles and legal obstacles pertaining to prejudice, pertaining to, having this kind of preemptive disclosures of things you have not yet disclosed to the other person's lawyers and so on, almost as if you're using the media and whatever and publicity to ambush the person. The threshold and the standards on which court and legal processes work is far different than what a talk show operates on. So yes, we can call and we can talk and so on. Mr. Robert Innocent, as a former, I think, chief magistrate, cannot do that. He has to gather his information. He has to gather his evidence. He has to double check it. He has to fact check it. He has to research it. And the place where it is to be ventilated and decided is in court. He can end up losing cases and have them thrown out and so on if he handles them in a manner that a judge determines was prejudicially disadvantageous to the people that he's charging. In other words, like basically they have been tried in the court of public opinion. Everybody has decided upon their guilt. They cannot even walk about the place for people not to be threatening them and a whole lot of those things. There is a level of responsibility which anybody who's within the legal and judicial process as an official has to exercise. And I'm thinking few people would know that more and know it better than someone like Robert Innocent. So it ain't all that long, since he was appointed. Come to think of it, sometimes it seems like forever. It's not forever. The gentleman was not appointed by Philip J. Pierre or by Leslie Mondesi, whatever. His appointment, I think, was made by the Legal and Judicial Services, the Regional Legal and Judicial Services Commission. If there is anything pertaining to dissatisfaction, the government, through whoever it is, DPP, they have to write to the commission or whatever DPP and say, look, we believe this thing is taking too long, it's dragging too long, can you find out for us what is going on, etc., etc. These are the ways things have to be done properly, This is about people's reputations. This is about people's, maybe freedoms we're talking about if you end up having to jail people and so on. So you have to do it in a manner that is ironclad, that is careful, that you don't mess up because you run into the media and talk every time. We have to understand that. Let me just say, by the way, the line's still open, to take your calls. 724-7325 and 453-3911. On, what day was it when Miss Melissa Paul was here? Was it the day before that she was here? The Prime Minister's press secretary. She said, I haven't been coming to the media as often, but many people seem to believe that this means that I'm not working. Shelton, I am very busy all the time. I'm working, but my work will not be seen. It will not be heard. It will not have my name to it. A lot of the communications of government that come out and the Prime Minister's office, I am involved in it, but I'm not going out every time. And so people assume that I'm there doing nothing. That's impossible for me to be there doing nothing. And I understood. There's no way she would be there slacking around and doing nothing and for the Prime Minister to be okay with it. And other people who maybe extra load will fall upon them will not complain about it. Sometimes the modus that certain people have to operate is not one of continuously chatting about it. Now we had a call on the line that we lost, I think. I'm sorry about that caller, but I had to finish the point. Every time when you have to say something mid-sentence, you have to stop. It kind of never lets the point be developed. So we just have our Attorney General, Leslie Mondesi. He's very reserved. It's not very often you're going to hear from him. What we have to understand is that he is an Attorney General who's not also a minister. He is what you might call a non-political attorney general. That's really not that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying, we have had attorney generals who have been, or attorneys general, I think is the grammatically correct one. We have had attorneys general who are people that are also ministers. They are through the Senate, or they're in the House, they were elected or they were appointed in the Senate. So they are ministerial attorney generals. They are politician attorney generals. Then there is an attorney general who is appointed as a public officer. The public officer attorneys general, as Leslie Mondesi is now, as was Mr. Julian, I don't think he was a minister, Mrs. Kim St. Rose before. These public officer attorneys general tend to be on the quiet side. Yeah, they'll give the occasional press conference when there is an important, pressing, overriding matter that they need to communicate about. They're going to do it, but they're not ordinarily going to be people who will speak as an Alfred Prosper or whatever it is, who are elected, and so they have to answer to constituencies and to the wider public and so on. That's maybe something we need to understand. 724-7325 and 4533-911 will soon be going to the commercial break. I know you are not accustomed to me having the lines open that early, but thus we have, because of what has been happening this week. We've had guests, and also we've had some technical issues that may have stood in the way of the calls. Let's see. Happening now, message that I just got, National Schools Calypso 2024 is taking place today from 10 o'clock. So it's in progress. Well, the scheduled time was 10 o'clock. So we wish them well. We hope, in fact, we were told that the road by the VG playing field, the SAB as they call it, would be blocked off for a certain period today to facilitate traffic management and control of things around that venue where it is taking place. So Junior Schools Calypso, we always like it. We always like to see how the young people can step into it. There's also something else taking place today, and I think I sent you the flyer, Jaquan. I don't know if you have it, and that is about the opening of the Miku Jetty. Did I send it? I think I sent you a flyer about that, but didn't press about it. But there's the Miku Jetty opening today. Let me see if I haven't sent it to you. Let me see if I have it, so we can just put it. It's just a flyer. It's not a video, but it's scheduled for today in Miku Village. So let's see. I think we should have that here. Oops. All right. Looks like. Oh, I thought I had it, but it's kind of strange that I don't. Okay, but there's the opening of the Miku Jetty, which we know a lot has been spoken about it. Let me see. Where's that flyer? Saw it just so long ago. I won't have deleted it from my device. Okay. Grand opening of the Miku Jetty next week Friday, but okay. Thought I had it, but there was a flyer that was done for it, and that it is taking place today. We're sorry about that. I wanted to put it on the screen. We had the sword turning ceremony earlier this year. Now we have the actual opening for the operation of the Miku Jetty. That has been a sore point, a sticking point for quite some time. But of course, as you know, people always tend to blame the incumbent, especially when they have a political agenda. All right, you're listening to The Real Issues, and like I said, telephone lines are open. Don't know what's taking place, whether it's the Junior Schools Calypso that people are tuned into. Real Issues always takes a hit because of the time of the day, I guess, that we're on, or the major talk shows at this point. So people now, Facebook Live has not spoiled us, but we know we can always go back, to the archive and watch the program, watch the video and so on, and then it's going to be okay with us. So let's see where we can have that. All right, good. Jaquan, I'm going to forward that to you, Honorable Jeremiah Norbert, cordially inviting to the official opening of the Miku Jetty. So watch out for it, and if you can just put it on the screen for us, that'll be our going out. Send it to you. I don't know if you want me to send it to. All right, so that it can be on the screen and that we can see that this is taking place today. let me further extend my condolences to Frances Severin, her husband, Joseph Severin, who will be laid to rest today, known as Mr. Sugar. Yes, he's getting buried today, and I think the funeral service will be taking place this afternoon at the Babonneau Good Shepherd Church, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere else in Babonneau. I'm sorry, but kind of slipped my mind. But I want to also extend my condolences once again to her on the loss of her beloved husband. All right, do we have this on the screen right now, Jaquan? All right. Okay. Oops. Yeah, sorry. It says the funeral is 10 a.m. tomorrow. All right. Sorry about that. I heard Richard say on his program that he wanted to apologize to Frances for the likelihood that he would not be there, would not be able to spend much time because of the funeral. He said that last night, so that kind of made my mind believe that, and one of the reasons he gave was because he had to be at Miku, where he's from, his place of his birth and upbringing and so on. All right, so someone said Richard subsequently corrected himself on that one, so that the funeral really is, they're saying it's 10 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday. All right, so all right, so let's look if we can get more of that. Are you able to get it up as yet, Jaquan? Sorry, I'm not looking at the Facebook Live. Giving you some trouble? Is there? All right. I sent another one, so maybe the first one's a little difficult and so on. Let's see if we can get that. Okay. All right. So we are clear. The funeral for Mr. Sugar will be tomorrow and not today. All right. Let me see if I can just get my communication with Frances on that one. All right, and yes, it says a celebration. Let me see that. Yeah, it does say. Okay, we got it up, but it's still giving us a bit of difficulty, Jaquan. Okay. Let's go for the break, and we can always come back and shoot back to it. All right. This is The Real Issues. We'll be back shortly.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Real issues as we close out another week of this program to resume Monday coming, which will be, of course, the 10th of June, 2024. I got a message from someone saying with regard to the recent disbursements to farmers pertaining to the losses that they suffered as a result of not having banana boxes, and the other challenges that they've had, giving them some support. So many hundreds of farmers getting about $1,000 each and so on, and all the complaints that we are hearing and all the attempts to disparage what the government is doing. Someone sent me a message saying, bro, a UWP friend told me he got $4,100 weeks before. I met a few farmers harvesting and they were not expecting more than $2,000. He was well satisfied, although he told others he received $1,500. Of course, he didn't want them to know what he got for obvious reasons. I don't know about the veracity of this, but I'm just telling you, there will always be mischief makers trying to see if they can send a different idea, a different thought into what is taking place, so that they can basically create a narrative that incites disaffection and discontent and unhappiness among people. That appears to be something that is very intensely being perpetrated and propagated in our country, and we must always be vigilant against it. 724-7325 and 4533911, the numbers to dial. We are taking your calls. Let me go to the Facebook Live so that we can see the comments that are there. Jaquan, have you been able to get the flyers up? All right. Let's take the call, even as you put up the flyers, so that people can see about the opening of the Miku Jetty that's taking place. Good afternoon, caller. The Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Internet problem.
Hey, forward la. Forward la, comment vous Mon bien, merci vous-même.
Oui. Forward la. Après, papa, mon Dieu, mais là, pas trop bien. Les gens, oui, merci Dieu.
Ça qui va, ou ka manger trois pas dans ces prix, non?
Ça m'a voulu après plus test of media. Pardon?
Mais ou ka manger trois pas dans ces prix, non?
Ah ouais. Ça il dit en pied après ça la vanne ça. Moi ça vous enjoy li, moi ça vous enjoy li.
Obligé,
Et la
obligé.
baniste encore, c'est Igila.
Mais c'est Jibia ni pour rien manger aussi.
Moi-même, moi, couille là pour moi dire, yon des moun qui ka di moi. Couille pour dire comme ça. Yo ka coûter moi à le programme. So, le mania madame garçon moi, papa il est bien malade. So, c'est ça nous n'y a la terre, c'est juste à la bonne personne. La terre pas rien qui bon encore Mr. Sheldon Daniel parce que maladie, tant malade et tant la mort. Because nous toutes croisés, nous toutes jacelés, ça qui a pourri, yon côté, nous pas voulons écouter parole papa bon Dieu. Papa bon Dieu m'a dit nous pour nous vivre et puis on a l'autre. Pièce ça il m'a dit à nous break down nous pas faire. Tout ça nous pas mener love. Il t'a quitté, je dis love one another as I love you. Tout ça nous va mener ça vivre à la terre. Nous pas qu'à y éclater. Because nous pièces les hommes là, il est parti. Il va quitter Anthony Power pour dire des pièces non conduit la terre à Bali. Il dit peace I give you, peace I love, peace I give you. I'm going to prepare a place for you. Mais il va dire c'est yon deux. For you, that means nous tout. Bon, moi-même, correction, moi pour correct, moi mettez oui, moi adli. Et moi ça, il y a tout ce monde qui a coûté, l'année Eugenie, l'année, tout ce monde qui n'est pas qui monde qui n'est malade, nous la mort, tout ensemble, moi après bien pour nous tous, yish moi qui malade. Papa, moi toujours calade. Si tu as la prière, si pas ni pas bon. Ou t'en s'en là. Depuis pas ni si morceau la prière, on dit dans le gouvernement, nous tout en mettons by power, en hausse les épaules nous ensemble. Papa bon Dieu pas de by personne power, puis de ou blanc, moi noir, ou pas ishme. Nous tout, à nous hausse les épaules nous quand by gouvernement. Pousser à d'ouvrir pour nous éclater en affaires nous. Moi je vais quitter toutes ces paroles ça là pour nous. Love one another. 4 lettres L-O-V love. Come Holy Spirit, we need you. Come sweet Spirit, we pray. Come with your strength and your power. Come with your own special way. Come Holy Spirit, we need you. Come sweet Spirit, we pray. Come, Holy Spirit, let's bring love back to work and we will see the light of the world. Amen, amen, amen.
Merci un peu forward là. Et puis passez une bonne restant journée vendredi et puis un bon week-end aussi. All right, we continue taking your calls. I had missed Forward La for a couple of days, but she's back with us. Always a pleasure to have her. And you know, her spiritual encouragements and so on, and her prayers and all of that. So thanks very much. We continue taking your calls 724-7325 and 453-3911 on the Facebook Live. Let me acknowledge Cletus Peter. He says that's a St. Lucian resident in the U.S. He says Pinez Martinez jailbird twice went to jail for fraud. Marie Frederick describes what Martinez had to say as crap talk. And Cletus believes that what he calls Dominic Kokoshat Fede. I don't know that person, you know. Dominic Kokoshat Fede saying that St. Lucians will not get visa to travel. Pure nonsense and BS. And that is something I always spend some time on, you know. There seem to be those people in the United States whose mentality about governing and developing this country is always have something to do with a Yadval, you know, reference and so on. To me, Yadval kind of thinking is all they're capable of. Everything about them is about America will not like that, you know, so we're in trouble. America is not happy with Alba, that we're members of Alba, you know, and that is why they're taking action against us. The whole thing about the Leahy law was applied to us because of our involvement with Alba. So many other countries involved with Alba, I don't know. You know, all kinds of people were pushing that, including, if I remember correctly, a former very senior police officer was pushing it, that it's Alba. Sadly, my longtime good friend Claudia Sprayville was pushing that kind of thing, that it's Alba that has it. And I went to town on that at the time. It's always a yard foul kind of thing that, you have failed to kiss America's feet. Or if you kissed it, you did not kiss it properly. You did not let your lips linger long enough on their feet. And that's why we're in trouble. And we need to not offend America. And when we're in the United Nations, our voting record, we're always voting against America. And it's like they're pushing the line of complaining about, always the Labour government, of course. The Labour government is not doing sufficient obeisance, to America. But America itself is not complaining. You think Donald Trump, especially people like that, they have time to pay attention to St. Lucia and our discussions about whether, America is right to be, supporting Israel or supporting Ukraine or this guy. You think they have time for us, 238 square miles and so on? You think a vote in the General Assembly or a resolution or so on moves them at all when they, know on the Security Council they have veto power and anything that is anti-Israel, whatever, they'll veto it and so on. It is Alan Shastney and Dominic Fede and those people who seem to be playing the yard foul game that they always come in to take on their backs and on their shoulders and present before us. Akwadi, you kapwa kozla me week akwadi say cause you and we're not treating America right. I mean, these fellas have no other political philosophy or solution or anything but yard foul, It's always the same old yard foul narrative they come into spin about, our visas could be in trouble, our travel, as if the totality of our existence hinges on American visa. It hinges upon, America taking a dim view of our friendship with Venezuela. So many countries that have friendship with Venezuela and with Cuba. It's always on a yard foul line, those fellas are. That the only prescription they can have for us for our development and sustainability is that we must adopt a posture that in every single thing, just make sure you kiss America's backside. I mean, come on, fellas. That's all y'all have to offer us as the United Workers' Party, the party of John Compton. That's all y'all have to offer us. And it's a non-stop kind of thing. This is one of the things that really irks me. This out and out wholesale, no alternative, no option that you can offer us, but complete yard foulism. I don't know. Woo. It's really something with those people. Solon says Asne is a damn fake. I don't know who that person is. He says Asnet. I don't know who that is either. Clitus believes he's not credible. Good afternoon to you, Bernard Haynes. I'll read a couple of your comments a little later on because I see you have more than one. Valence Charles and Bernadette Charles. Don't know if you all are related, but good afternoon to you as well. Luce Emmanuel, who says that he or she is watching from Canada. And to Sherry Sevre as well, and Donan Jabatis, as well as James Bryce, Shelley Fanis, and see that. Good afternoon to Alicia Paris and Stanislas Marceau. Iante Emmanuel also lets us know that she is watching. Oswald Belma as well, good afternoon to you. And he says the judiciary must operate independently of external pressures and influences. Public commentary can create undue pressure on judges and jurors, potentially impacting their impartiality. And I agree with you. Mr. Robert Emmanuel has to operate by a different standard and different set of criteria than we are accustomed to when we are having discussions, in the public domain and so on. He is a court officer and so on and all of that, so he has to be very careful with that as special prosecutor. He's an officer of the court of a very high degree of appointment. He's subordinate in that thing only to the DPP, to the Director of Public Prosecution. Noella Joseph, good afternoon to you as well. And Sabina Fontenelle, it's nice having you with us. Let's read a comment from Bernard Haynes. He says, there is no way that someone who is elected and is part of government as the LU, that's leader of the opposition, as the LU, though, has a right to oppose and find means and ways to return to lead the country, can be so desperate that they would go at length with all unscrupulous characters trying to destroy the country. And that's the thing, you got a feeling that Alan Shastney is not prepared to really take time to screen and peruse and scrutinize the people that he jumps in with, Philip Martinez. He doesn't care. It's like anything that he believes is going to give him an opportunity, is going to provide him with that kind of platform and pedestal and stance on which he can launch an attack on the government of St. Lucia because he believes it will redound to his political benefit. the people are watching and they're seeing in that your lack of love for your country, that you're prepared to form some kind of subversive alliance with any kind of interest, whatever, that you believe will help bring you back to office. But not even people in your United Workers' Party are impressed with you. All right. Let me say that. Shasta is a co-conspirator with the criminal Martinez to try to bring down our country. That's from Sylvester Frederick. Many people probably believe that now, They're probably beginning to see this thing. In fact, people who are indifferent to it are probably beginning to see that thing in a very different light. Adela Seeley, good afternoon to you. Nice to have you with us. I don't think I've noticed you, or maybe because I haven't really been able to get into the Facebook Live because of little issues and so on here and there. Solange James, good afternoon. She says, I guess it's different in some areas, but I get a good signal on TV and on Facebook in Corinth. So, to my friend Chris, here's somebody in Corinth saying that it's all good with them. So if there's something in the south, you say, I don't know, TV and so on. Our TV goes through a cable service provider. So it's not a matter of if someone is getting it good in Corinth and you're not getting it good in Viewfort. It's a network problem, and we don't control the cable service provider network. We do not. Clearly, you know that. And Saba Christians, good afternoon to you as well. And let's see if we have others. David Henry is here. Good afternoon to you, David Henry. Cletus Peter is very, very active on the page this afternoon. Let's see if we can get some others. Bernard Hinn says he's just finished doing a full body x-ray in just my underwear, but still listen to Real Issues. So you had a radio or some device in that x-ray room, Bernard. I believe you must have affected that x-ray, Take care, this thing didn't go through you in an intensified way because of assistance from your phone or iPad or whatever it was that you had inside there. Full body x-ray in just your underwear. But what were you holding in your hand? Take a bum dry tonight. This thing doesn't really work, and I think you know what I'm talking about. It's not the device. All right. They need to protect the children today before the mad people that don't want to see St. Lucians happy go and drive through the crowd. Lord protect them. Thank you. I think she's talking about the school's Calypso competition taking place at the VG field. They need to have good traffic management. That's true, especially when it hits Friday and so on. We just have some people who are just acting like like they're just crazy on the road. Another thing that I'm noticing when you're driving along where the median barriers are, people are changing lanes, without checking if some other vehicle is in the lane and coming up close to them. As far as they're concerned, once they indicate, they can swing, so you tick, you indicate. And it's not a matter of indicating. You have to indicate and find out if it is safe for you to change lanes. I wasn't seeing that for a long time, but nowadays I see people just sweeping across others very, very close, or they're passing, they're buzzing through it. And this is the thing about us, it's a spirit of selfishness. It's a spirit of self-gratification. It's what feels good to me, what suits me, what I want to do, what makes me... driving on the road is not about an exercise in getting your rocks off, getting your personal rocks off. That's not what it's about. It's not about your gratification and what feels good to you and what gives you a thrill or a rush. There is too much at stake in terms of life and limb and the safety of people and the accidents and the injuries people can suffer and death and expensive assets, motor vehicles. We pay a lot of money for them. We pay a lot of money to purchase them. We pay a lot of money to the bank for financing them for us. We pay a lot of money for the insurance. We pay a lot of money for repairs and servicing and everything like that. That goes on and on. Why should we want to be smashing those things on the road and all the time wasting and all the trouble that it gets on the roads right now? I mean, the majority of people do okay, but especially in that area, I find, when you're driving in that, it's median barrier stretch, you have to say. But from the time you leave the VG roundabout and you're going up and you reach as far up as the Shock roundabout, beyond that, you don't find too much of it because there are no median barriers beyond it. It's like people just doing anything, changing lanes and so on. So you're driving and somebody just indicate, and they don't indicate to give you a chance to say, okay, this person wants to cut in front of me or something like that. They don't. As far as they're concerned, they indicate, their flashes on. So that's all they have to do. Just indicate and they cut in front of you. The problem is that you have to slam on your brakes. Somebody else coming behind you who doesn't expect that sharp braking and slowing down or stopping on your path can ram into your rear and so on. And you have a vehicle pile up and all the problems and injuries, neck whiplash and so on. This thing can cause you. And sometimes when you get hit from behind, you don't even need any injury. It can cause worse accident because the way that thing startles you, boom! And you feel your vehicle do that jolt and so on. This thing startles you. You never know what, being stunned for a moment can cause you to do. You might slam down on the accelerator instead of your brakes. You might do some crazy thing which is just because you are startled and probably stunned a little by what this thing happens. People have to look at, and now that a weekend is coming, we have to watch those things, folks. In the night, it is a problem with all different kinds of lights, white lights, bright lights, and plus they do not dim the lights when they see you, some of them. But these flashing lights and all kinds of things that can disorient people. I will repeat what I have just said. Driving on the road is not about self-gratification and kicking off and getting your kicks and getting your rush and getting your rocks off. That's not what it is about. It's about driving in a manner that is safe, that is responsible, that protects yourself and other road users, commuters, motorists, pedestrians, everybody. And sometimes the problem you get into down the road is a problem that you contributed to higher up. Yes, you may have just cut in front of somebody, but what is the accumulation of the problem down the traffic stream where you yourself are heading that you may have contributed to? People are causing all kinds of problems on the road. And we're fortunate in this country. We have a lot to be thankful for. We have some accidents, including some very nasty accidents, but it could be a lot worse based upon the behavior. And here's the sad thing about it, which I will repeat. Some of the people who are causing those problems, they are people that are being paid, to have lives in their hands. I was coming from Millennium Highway and going into the intersection of the Banan roundabout, not Banans, the Banan roundabout. So all these Banans, St. Lucian people, stop this foolishness. This is your country. And all the Junique, all that we have in it to instill in us the cultural pride so that we don't be saying Banans and Canels and all this kind of thing. It's Banan, it's Canel, The S in it is silent. Okay. But I'm going to the Banan roundabout. If someone is coming from town, from Castries, from the Fuasho area, and they're approaching the roundabout when I am coming from the Millennium Highway, I'm supposed to give way to them because they're coming from my right. Give way to traffic coming from your right. So you approach, you check to see, is there anyone coming from the Fuasho side, or is there someone who has made the whole turn of the roundabout already and they're coming so that they can go back, maybe, whatever, towards the Banan Tapion side of things and Latok side of things and so on. But there is a minibus and it looked brand new, gold colored and so on, loaded with people coming from, the Banan Tapion side of the roundabout. That means he has to give way to me, and I am going, with the assumption, if not the confidence, that this guy is going to stop. But thankfully, I have a defensive mind in my driving. And so something just told me, lift your foot, lift your foot, just place it over your brake because this guy is probably not going to stop. And the man passed, and you should see it faced with the full arrogance of it all. Went through. I wonder if they know that rule of using a roundabout, of giving way to traffic coming from your right. Because had I continued, there would have been a collision. Anyway, there's some people who are going to go and cause the accident because they know they're right. I'm not doing that. Your aim in driving is to avoid and prevent accidents wherever you can. And once you have an accident, your whole day gone. Your whole day gone. First of all, the scene of the accident becomes chaotic. The people on the minibus, they all feel that they must side with the driver. They're not going to rebuke the driver. You didn't see that man coming. The whole lot of people around are going to gather. They gather around. Gasso, you are coming from there. You had time to see the man. You're going to stop him. And, when there's that little prank, everybody wants to get in on it. The lady, the roo-roo. People, it makes them feel important, and everybody has their piece to give. And before you know it, somebody make their way behind you while you're concentrating on talking to the driver, and they give you a calot, a bats, and, it can easily escalate into something, into a fight and whatever it is. Sometimes the person who's wrong feel they have to gouge at you, and you never know, these things turn nasty So accidents, I don't care how right I am, and that is the spirit you should have. Try your best to avoid it. Avoid, avoid, avoid. Don't care how much of a moron, don't care how much of an something, something whole that the person is. Do not ever, no matter how right you are, press forward in the feeling that it's my right and I'm not giving way. Too many of us in this country are getting into problems because we have that spirit of me, I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down. It's not a matter of backing down, it's a matter of protecting yourself. You hit that minibus. It ain't just the moron driver that you're hitting. You might end up injuring people, school children, the housewife, the woman going to town to do a little shopping who have no idea of it, all because you wanted to teach some moron a lesson. Your business on the road is not to teach people lessons. It is not to get your rocks off, to gratify yourself. Your business on the road is to promote, uphold safety, to contribute to it yourself on the road and so on. Not to do anything like that. You go ahead and you knock down somebody when you see their body and you see children and family coming and they're hand on their head and they're screaming and they're crying. Right away you begin to feel sorry. You begin to feel the remorse. You begin to feel, the guilt, but it's too late at that point. Do not let it reach that point if you can do something. A lot of people, somebody's overtaking you in an area that is stupid, in something where they should not be doing that, You want to teach them. No, that's not your business to teach them a lesson by pressing, by speeding up, to squeeze them, to prevent them from passing, to mess them up. Too many of us are in love with this, what we believe it is strength to mess up somebody. Guys, so you see me? If he think he mess up, I'm more mess up than him. If him think they F up, I'm more F up than them. We seem to believe there is strength. There is strength in being retaliatory, to retaliate, to have this sense that, you're not backing down, you're teaching somebody that they can't get the better of you. Too many of us are caught in this petty, childish, foolish mindset, and that is leading to a lot of the confrontations that are unnecessary. The road is not the place to be playing this out. This is dangerous. This is heavy metal vehicles, moving at speed on wheels and so on. The time for reaction is less than seconds, that you have time to react. This is not a time to be taking chances with things that weigh in tons, thousands and thousands of pounds of solid metal, some softer, hard and so on. Slamming into each other and slamming into flesh and blood is very unforgiving. Some we just can't do anything about them, but I'm telling you friends, most of them we can prevent them. Take that to mind and to heart as we enter another weekend. We take a break. When we come back, line's still open for your calls and for your messages. I'll continue reading from the Facebook Live, but I know things are happening today, so you're probably caught up in it, fully understanding. Like I said, real issues, time of the day. We're going to take some block. At times like that, we see it happening with the parliament and so on. So, no worries. We'll be back shortly.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Men of the island to make sure they have their doctor's appointment done and go do an annual physical exam, which is what I am doing right now, says Bernard Haynes. We're still taking your calls, 724-7325. You can WhatsApp call us on that number, or you can also reach us on the studio direct landline number 4533911. So Bernard, I hope everything is, in good order and working well and so on, I think you know what I mean. I don't need to spell it all out. All right, and Sava Christian says, Shelton Daniel, this is called sabotage. Sabotage. Did you mean sabotage or did you really mean cyber? I'm not exactly sure if you wanted to use, the cyber.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Cyberspace. I think we have a call on the line. Yes. Good afternoon. Real issues.
Yes. Good afternoon, Shelton. Yeah.
How you doing?
There is something that I am watching closely. I'm watching the U.S. election with Donald Trump and Chastney, and let me tell you, I have a strong feeling that Chastney is waiting for Trump to win, so he can have Trump to try and mess up to stop our CIP program. That infrastructure part of the CIP is causing headache for Chastney, because now they are asking to put a halt to the infrastructure part of the CIP. I have a strong feeling that this thing is not over with us yet. Thank you.
Let me ask you, okay, he's gone already. I was going to ask him, do you think Donald Trump has a serious chance of winning the 2024 U.S. presidential elections? I remember I was at Radio St. Lucia doing 90 Minutes back in the day, and I said early in the year, do not be surprised if Donald Trump ends up becoming the president. And I was kind of ridiculed, not an unfriendly way. But people said, come on, Shelton, you really believe, this is going to happen, that the Americans, American people are going to vote Donald Trump? And I don't know, I just saw certain things about the way the guy was able to blow his way through the primaries and the nomination process one by one, people who were standing giving way. I see it be repeated this year. The wider American public is a different thing, of course, but at the end of the day, yes, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. I think she beat Trump nationwide by 3 million votes, but that's not the way it works in the American college vote system and electoral vote system, and just the same way it doesn't work with the first past the post system. A person can actually win the popular vote and still get almost no seats or just 2 seats and so on, but they win them by such a wide margin that their lead beats what the others won. That's why it's called general elections. Each constituency is an election. But I'm going to tell you this: if Donald Trump wins this presidential election, not just the United Workers' Party in St. Lucia, under Alan Chastney, a lot of the parties, most of them currently in opposition, they will have a spring in their step, and they will fancy their chances, and they will feel like, okay, they can do it, they can pull it off, and our Republican sponsors and godparents and brethren are in power in those places. And I'm telling you, that can give a lot of momentum, even if otherwise they are looking so weak. UWP is one. Unity Labour Party, not Unity Labour Party, the opposition in St. Vincent, I haven't forgot what they're, NDP, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the UPP in Antigua and Barbuda, the opposition party in St. Kitts and Nevis. A lot of them are going to start to fancy their chances and to believe that, we can pull. They're going to become very arrogant. They're going to become very cocky. They're going to become very pushy. They're going to behave as if, it's only a matter of time. It's a given that we're going to be in office. You'll begin to have pronouncements and utterances coming from people like Alan Chastney and Dominic Feedy. They're going to be talking the talk, that, we have this and it's just a matter of time and waiting for the date. They'll become very strident. They'll begin their marches and they'll begin to try to stir up trouble in the trade unions and industrial relations spaces. A lot of that is going to happen if you see Donald Trump, were to win the U.S. presidential election. And I have said a few things here. Maybe nobody was paying attention to me. There is absolutely no way I can be a fan of Vladimir Putin, And that is my primary reason. I don't need any more reasons about Ukraine or whatever. I can never be a fan of Vladimir Putin when I know, the kind of relationship, even if it's a winking relationship, the way Donald Trump expresses support and admiration for that guy. Something has to be completely off with this way. I can't be opposing Donald Trump and for me to be supporting Vladimir Putin. And there are a couple other things I said about South Africa better watch itself. Better watch itself that there will not be a concerted push by international Zionism and Jewish entrenched interests who control a lot of wealth and trade and a lot of, what we can see, undeclared or unseen power in the world. And look at the result of the election. Look at the result of the election in South Africa They got a majority, but not a majority that they can govern as the ANC. They need to form some kind of coalition, and maybe the coalition means going back to people that they have jettisoned, that they said were too corrupt, like Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma, and who knows, maybe the unthinkable, maybe they might have to form some kind of alliance with a white-dominated party that they would have considered to be something absolutely, unthinkable, consider them untouchable and so on. You never know what can happen, whether this is not already the very first stirrings of Zionism's push against black majority rule in South Africa because of the position that they took in taking Israel to the International Criminal Court or International Court of Justice and all that sort of thing. Whether it is not, they didn't have enough time to organize themselves. The time between that and the elections was too close for them to properly begin the subversion of black majority rule. But that may be the start. It may not be, but it may well be the start of the undermining of black majority rule. We have to be very careful. And in the United States, people like Republicans, as people like Flambeaus, they are people who are very good at the power of complot, the power of scheming and the power of plotting. You might think you have them and there's absolutely no way in hell that they can ever get a chance. But you never know in the background what they're doing, what they're working. When Nobby calls her yesterday and Nobby says, and I've heard nobody come out and deny this was true, that Michael Shasney, Allen's father, called him and drove him, where was it, to Obez Serafin, picked him up at Point Serafin and drove him to Obez Serafin to sit down and have a chat, whether a meal or whatever, and to offer him, a man like Nobby, who has been so resolutely and unflinchingly labor, that Michael Shasney, if that is true, can have the gall, can have the audacity, can have the effrontery, can have the boldness, the forwardness and the forthrightness to come and say, Nobby, I want you to run for UWP in Grozile. It means that those guys, they are not lacking in bravery and in courage and so on. And if they are not lacking, and they're not lacking in the money for bribe, whatever, I assume Nobby didn't say so, that he said hell no to them. Otherwise, something would have been offered and so on. If they can do that, you never know where they might be poking. They might right now be having their ears very tuned to her with any little sign of disaffection. And there is disaffection, especially among Labour Party people. Flambeau people, their party can do them whatever they want. They will come and play games with Labour, while Labour is in office, They'll come and play this little game with you. Me, man, this man, Alan Chasney, I'm not listening to anybody, not me, Or they will come and flatter the egos of Labour Party people. I know I'm a UWP, I think you know that, but you a man I have a lot of respect for, I have a lot of time for, Philip J. Pierre or Kenny Anthony. And because of you, I think I'll give Labour the vote this time. That's a game they play, They have more vice. They like to come and pretend like they vex when they're not vex at all. When they're in bed and so on. It's a good cop, bad cop kind of game they like to play and so on. And sadly, I suspect some Labour Party people, including some in top, if not leadership positions, tend to fall for that kind of thing. Yeah, they tend to fall for it. The flattery of, man, you're a man, because of you, I'll support Labour, especially Allen, man, don't want to listen to anybody. Don't worry them, they're collaborating. What they're doing is to infiltrate you, to get into your midst and so on, so that you will embrace them thinking that they have turned, that they have converted, that they're now your friend. Some of these people, they are animals, you can't tame them, You just cannot tame them, but they know how to play the system. They know how to play you. They know how to get things for themselves. And sometimes they get it to the disaffection of the Labour stalwarts who have been there taking their blows and taking their suffering all that time, that they see after all you come in, and it's them people you seem to be looking for to fix up with contract and this kind of thing. So when the election comes, you face a double whammy. You face a whammy of those people that you invested so much in taming them, in grooming them, thinking that you can bring them to your side, only to see election time their shirt more yellow than it has ever been. They walking shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, in lockstep with the very same Alan Shasney they told you that, he has basically disgusted them and they don't want to have anything. They're doing all of that, and your own supporters now so vexed with you. We got a caller? And your own supporters so vexed with you, that they themselves now take the position of, I am voting. They won't tell you they'll vote Flambeau, but they are voting because they feel after they have taken all the pluck and plan that they took all those years on the Flambeau, you come in And like is the Flambeau you seem to be patting on the head and embracing and bringing close to you. So you face the double whammy of your supporters disgusted with you. You know, they decide to protest against you. And you face, and I've seen it happen before, you know, Flambeaus who supposedly had turned and come across. And the moment John Compton came back as leader, oh my goodness, how many of them just slide on you? And sometimes election night, you know, you've seen them slide on you. You've seen people in yellow shirt that had assured you that they had converted and that they had changed and that they give up on Flambeau and not them again with Alan Chastity and this and that. And election day, hey, let's see how you can sort door. Let's see how you are forced. Some of them don't make any of that. They just know they're going to bust your tail for you. And they do that kind of thing. So, when Nobby tells me that, and I say, Nobby, of all people, they thought they could approach Nobby to try to swing him. Well, who else they might be trying to swing and who else they might be succeeding in swinging? Who else might be there playing the game to get whatever it is, whatever their contract, whether it's civil engineer, you know, who trying to play like, you know, he's a fan and buddy and good friend and he has good rapport with you. But he know where he messing you up and he know how he messing you up because you believe you can tame that animal. Some animals cannot be tamed. They know how to further and advance and secure their interests. But always, ultimately, they're looking to do you in. And when you do that, you facilitating them to do you in. So we better be careful. Just like we might think it's improbable for Donald Trump to come back, we might think it's impossible for Alan Chastity. He might not qualify in the direct matchup against the Labour people and so on. It's a mismatch. It's a no contest. But who says this is the approach they're going to use? You know, people who are not good at the frontal symmetrical warfare, they're very good at what you call the asymmetrical warfare, the creep, the creepy conduct of things, the scumbag way of doing things. Sometimes it gets to people, so never in any situation say never. Now, time going on us. Every time a call comes in, it catches me in mid-sentence. I'm very sorry. Already mid-sentence, I have to run sometimes for the lotto and so on. I want to finish a point, but we have a caller, so I'm going to take the call now. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Good afternoon to your viewers and listeners.
What happened? You feel sorry for me?
Well, boy, I felt sorry for you, my brother.
I feel so too, you know.
So much so I fell asleep.
You fell asleep?
I'm just messing.
You mean today I saw boring?
Nah, man, Shelton, never. You could never be, especially for someone like me who's always into learning, and there's never day at passes and we don't learn something new.
Because for the first time I was going to tell Jamal to press that hang up button, you know. But
Shelton, this is just a daily reminder of why we should be thankful for the Philip J.P. administration. Today is another one of those days. The fisher folk of Miku are no longer floating. They're no longer in limbo. As of today, well, as of this afternoon, we're going to see the launch and the official opening of the jetty, the Miku jetty, which has been a long time coming. And when I say a long time coming, I'm not even talking about under this administration. I'm talking about it's been a long time coming since the people of Miku had a proper jetty. I think we remember the disaster that occurred during the last administration.
The floating jetty.
Yeah, the floating jetty. We're lucky it didn't float away. But, you know, these are just one of the few things. And if we look back to last week, the farmers getting what's due to them. We look at the minimum wage. Amid all the discussion right now, the unfounded criticism of a suggested, and let's just put it this way, it is just a proposed minimum wage because at the end of the day, it is still out in the public for recommendations and, you know, reviews and comments. So, I mean, to even give the suggestion that the government is imposing a minimum wage on the people, that is so untrue. Shelton, but it's just, again, like I said, just to remind the people that we are on the right track with the Labour Party government. The hospital is going on as normal and steady. Anyone who lives or traverses the north would see the way the Boseju Kaimaje Road is being rehabilitated. And I must say, Shelton, a few weeks ago I noticed it, but this morning I happened to take a peek inside the stadium, just passing through. One of the gates were open. And the way the grass, the seats, the seating looks, it's all fresh. We can only wait for the outside of the stadium to be done, and hopefully it's done in time for the commencement of the World Cup. I think my only disappointment, Shelton, is that we don't have enough West Indies matches down here. So we've done all these renovations, yes, for those other countries to play. I think that there's only one or two West Indies matches there, which I think we were shortchanged by the ICC. But in any case, Shelton, have a great weekend, and to your viewers and listeners.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Really appreciate it.
From my brother.
Who cares? Alan is suffering from privilegetitis. Sorry, that one is too much for me. We have another call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, the Senator, Honorable Shelton Daniel.
And the Deacon, the Reverend Bernard Haynes.
Yes, sir. I was trying to play tag with Miguel to see who's going to call first.
All right. How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, Shelton. I'm glad that of the report that I got. The doctor tell me look like I'm pretty healthy.
Okay. Did the X-rays cause any kind of superpowers or so on like they did for Peter Parker and all those fellas, the radioactive effect on you?
No. All I was told was that I am doing very good. Just eat. The obsession I have with cheese, stop it a bit,
Okay.
But other than that, I don't even eat regular cheese though. It's more veggie cheese. So the doctor asked me to relax on that.
All right. That's good.
Other than that, I am good. I am looking real healthy. So
we might be hearing about later this year a couple more children.
No, sir, I'm done. I'm finished. I need my time to enjoy myself.
All right, sir. Okay.
My son is 11 years old. I think that is just time for me to enjoy myself. Okay. Yeah, but Shelton, it was thing to hear Martinez said that Alan Chasney is giving him information. Just now, I want to know who is Alan Chasney working for. Is he interested in working for the people of St. Lucia, or he's working for an agency or an agent, or he's an agent trying to bring down the island, bring down the country some way, somehow? How can you have information as a man? This is not a court. This is not a court officer, or a lawyer who's asking for information from you as the leader of the. This is a man who is having a case set against specific people, and you are saying that he's saying that you are giving him information, you are feeding him information. I thought if you had an information like that, you would have come out and tell the people of St. Lucia, hey, this is the information that I have, this is the information that I got, that is where that thing is going, and it is wrong for the country. And what you are feeding the man, and you want to tell us that we are working in secret? No, Alan Chasney should be really looked into, investigated. Shelton, if need be, haul him in. That cannot be a leader of an opposition who have the people's interest, Shelton. No. That cannot be a man who wants to lead the country. No, that cannot be. This is an agent of unscrupulous characters. This is what Alan Chasney wants to be in a position where he can receive things, information from St. Lucia and give to unscrupulous characters. Give money to people that when he himself is in trouble will get that money in return to do things that will blue us. That is what Alan Chasney is about. That is what he's doing. And St. Lucians should really take note, Shelton, of what Alan Chasney is doing. My fellow St. Lucians, I am telling you all, I am not more educated than you. I am not more experienced than you. I'm not in a, maybe I might be living in a bigger country, what they term as the metropolitan country, but that doesn't mean that I know more or better. But what I know for sure is here need to be looked at, behavior needs to be checked. Please watch Alan very closely. I think the eyes on Alan Chasney.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes,
it's not just for St. Lucia. Alan Chasney does not seem to be interested in Mico South to provide them with what you will consider to be perceptible or discernible representation. Alan Chasney is just on every other frolic and on every other adventure that has to do with everything else except Mico South. The sad thing is that election time comes, this guy is going to use the tremendous wealth that he has to just buy his way back. into winning an election again and to be the official representative in the parliament for those people. That is the sadness. That is the tragedy. That is the heartbreak of this whole thing. You know, Alan Shastney does not seem to have that focus on the welfare and the well-being of the people, of the residents, of the voters, of the constituents. You know, the young children growing up in Miku South, you just don't get the sense that there is that kind of caring embrace of them. They're just a tool for him to be in the parliament, for him to win an election, to be prime minister or to become leader of the opposition. You know, to just have his name there, to have his name written in the book. That's all he wants. The man comes to the parliament, the man always stirs up something to walk out, to leave, always getting in something with Claudius Francis and a whole lot of stuff like that. It's always some drama, is always some kind of, you know, theatrics and shenanigans that he himself stirs up. I don't see, you know, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he is behaving as an agent of foreign interest, you know, the imperialist yadfowl, you know, the colonizing, you know, plant and so on, stool pigeon and fifth columnist in our midst while claiming to be one of us only when it suits him. This man is not one of us. This man does not have any kind of, you know, identification with us that we can say, okay, this man really cares about us and wants to be identified as one of us. It's not. It's Canada, it's America, it's this and that. It's playing big shot, using us as his platform to play go coco and to impress those people and so on. That's what he's doing all the time. And we have to wake up and see that. He did it when he was prime minister, better facilitated. He continues to do it even when he's on the opposition bench. You know, he continues to do it. Not even that has given him a bit of, you know, remorse and resolve and reflection to say, okay, let me work my way back into... He's not interested in that. Anyway, that's the real issues, folks, for today and for the week. Thank you so very much for having been part of it. Thank you very much, Jaquan, for doing your best with the controls and the calls. And on behalf of all of us here at Real FM Radio, MBC Television, Shelton Daniel, signing out for today and for the week.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Fridays.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here